Hey Donna, are you there? I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to move in with you from today. So thanks for letting us into your home. I am just finishing up with packing up our stuff, and then I'm going to head over. Wait, what? What are you talking about, Sandra? You're going to come and live with us? I never remember hearing about any of this before. When was this decided? Well, I just really miss my brother, and so that's why I'm going to be moving in with you. I mean, I just can't do anything around the house without him, and it's been so lonely since he moved out. I just really want to be around you all. So that's why I am moving out of my parents' place and going to come and live with you. Sorry, you want to move into our house because you miss your brother? Is that really it? Yeah, that's right. You see, the thing is that Oral has been doing things for me ever since we were little kids. Like, if I told him that I was hungry, he would always cook something for me, and if there was a bug in my room, he would always come and kill it for me. But ever since Oral married you, he's hardly ever come home at all, and I just knew that the only way I could be close to him was by moving out of home. I guess I just really can't live without my big brother. Sarah, I'm really sorry to break this to you, but Oral and I agreed that when we got married, we would want it to be just us, so I don't think that you can just move in with your family. No, that isn't fair. You can't just do that to me. He's still my older brother, and you can't take him away from me. I want him to take care of me, and I always get what I want. Are you okay? Is this normally how you react to things with your brother? Please, you don't understand. I can hardly take care of myself. I don't know how to cook or clean or anything like that, and Mom and Dad are even worse at it than I am. They are always being jerks and telling me that I need to learn how to cook for myself and keep my space clean. But it's not my fault that I used to always be able to go and ask Oral for help when I was little. I mean, my parents don't even cook for me anymore. Do you get that? And I don't know how to cook anything for myself. I need my brother. Okay, I get that. It can be tough to take care of yourself sometimes, but you're an adult, Sandra. I'm sorry, but it doesn't sound at all like your parents are being unreasonable to me. And just because you choose to live with them even after getting married doesn't mean that you can expect them to do everything for you. But it was always my brother who was doing stuff for me. All I ever had to do was just ask him, and whatever it was, he would make sure that it got done for me. Now, I just have my mean old parents never doing anything for me. That's why I want to go and live with my brother, got it? I mean, it's just one more person in your house. Surely you can't be that upset about just one more person living with you guys, right? Sandra, I am really sorry, but I've already made myself clear. The fact is that you can't come and live with us, okay? But why not? Seriously, tell me what is so bad about just one more person coming to live with you? Are you really so selfish that you can't even abide by that? The only reason I want to move in with you guys in the first place is just so that my older brother can take care of me. I promise that I won't get in your way at all. I'm sorry, but I've already given you my answer and it is final. Look, the truth is that I'm pregnant right now. So I just don't think we could really handle having someone else in the house with all that's already going on. Wait, you're pregnant? Since when? I had no idea about that. You mean that I'm going to be an aunt? That is so exciting! Well, we just found out. I wanted to make the announcement after some more time had passed so that I could be sure the pregnancy would keep. But anyways, things are already tough enough for us, and we have a lot of preparation we need to do before the baby arrives. So again, I'm really sorry, but you just won't be able to live with us, and that's that. Oh, come on, don't be like that. This works out even better, don't you get it? I mean, if you're pregnant and struggling, then that is all the more reason for me to go and live with you guys. And just how do you figure that, huh? Well, Oral is probably at work all of the time, right? So that probably means that you need an extra hand around the house to help you out during the day, yeah? I also don't have a job or anything like that, so I could just help you with whatever you needed. Wait a second, you don't have a job? What happened? Last I heard you did have one. Did you quit? Well, after Oral moved out, I didn't have anyone to complain to all about my work. No matter who I tried to talk to, nobody was interested in hearing it. I tried really hard to keep working, but there was nobody to listen to me complain, so the stress just kept building and building until I couldn't take it anymore. And in the end, I had had enough, and I decided to quit my job. So you really just quit your job because you didn't have anyone to complain to about it? Please tell me that's some kind of a joke. Nope, it's the truth. But on the plus side, it means that I can stay at home all day and help you out. I mean, I'm sure there are days when you don't feel good while you're pregnant, right? Well, you could just think of me as your live-in nurse, huh? And then I can help take care of you and my little niece or nephew when they're born.
Donna, are you there? I just heard the news from my sister about how she wants to come and live with us. I know that she was really missing having me at home, but I didn't think that she would go and do something like this.
I mean, I know that you told me about how much she likes you and how close you were when you were kids, but this is just taking it too far. You must have been really, really sweet to her when she was little, Oral. But now that you did that, she just runs wild, doing whatever she wants.
Yeah, I guess so. I was just trying to be a good older brother to her. I guess it ended up backfiring. Now she's just a spoiled little girl who doesn't want to learn how to take care of herself. Then again, maybe that's something that hasn't changed all that much.
What do you mean by that, Oral?
I mean that I think that Sandra has honestly been a pretty selfish person ever since she was little. Whenever things didn't go her way, she would always burst into tears. She wouldn't stop crying until she got what she wanted. But my parents were also so stubborn about not giving in that every day was just such a mess in the house. Honestly, I probably did things for Sandra just because I wanted everyone in the house to stop fighting.
I see. I had no idea that things were that bad in the house when you were growing up, Oral. It must have been tough trying to play the peacemaker like you did at such a young age. Sandra told me about how you would cook for her when she was hungry and kill bugs for her when they were in her room. It sounds like you did so much just to keep things running smoothly in the house.
I know, but it wasn't just for my family, you know? It was just as much for my own sake, so I didn't go crazy. But there were other motives as well. You know how I got hired as head chef at that restaurant recently? Well, I used Sandra to test out a bunch of recipes that I was working on. And I killed the bugs in her room because I didn't want them showing up in mine later on. That's why I even kept her room clean for her.
I see. Well, I guess that all makes sense. But still, it can't have been easy on you.
It wasn't, but it is true that I did whatever my sister asked of me. Although, if I'm being honest, it always shocked me at how selfish she was. And I think over time I grew to really resent that she never really realized just how much I was doing for her. I thought that when you and I got married that I was finally going to be free of her.
Well, if it's any consolation, I tried to tell her that we just wouldn't be able to take her in and let her live with us. I told her about the pregnancy and everything, but she just wouldn't listen to me.
Well, I think that if she sees what it's like to live with us, that she'll go running back to Mom and Dad. I'll even call them and tell them that this won't last long, and to keep her room as is.
Well, okay, if you're sure about this. I guess having her here for a few days wouldn't be the worst thing. Donna, what is the matter with you? Are you seriously going back to your parents' house? What for? I don't understand it. If you're going to be over there, then how am I supposed to see what my little niece or nephew is going to look like when they're born? I want to be there when all of that happens. Well, I don't want any of that, and that's why I'm going back to stay with my parents for the time being. I was never going to do this originally, but I just can't stand being around you anymore. So you're saying that this is all my fault? Don't be ridiculous. Just what is wrong with me wanting to be a good aunt and be there for you, my sister-in-law, on the day that you give birth? Because that's just it. You're my sister-in-law and nothing else. This is going to be a big emotional day for me, and I would rather be with my parents than around you for it. You know that Oral and I told you that you would only be allowed to stay with us for a week, right? Well, it's been 2 months, and you're still in our house just being a freeloader. I have been so stressed out during that time that I just don't think I'll even be able to have this baby with you around. But I'm not even doing anything. How can you be so cruel to me for just wanting to be there for you? It's not like I'm partying all night or blasting loud music or anything. I have to get up several times in the middle of the night, and I hardly feel like I get any sleep at all. But at all hours of the night, I can hear you walking around the house and making all kind of racket, even if it's not loud music. I can hear the noise from whatever video games it is that you're playing coming from your room at almost all hours of the day. Even during the daytime, I can hardly ever get a moment to rest. If your hearing is really that sensitive, then maybe you should just walk around the house with earplugs. You're really telling me that I should have to walk around my own home with earplugs so that you can play your games? You're the guest here. You should be mindful of your host's needs after being here for so long. I mean, all you do is play games and eat. You never do anything to help out around the house at all. All of that sounds like your problem if you ask me. Besides, all you do is lie around the house too. You really think that just because you're pregnant, you can be resting all day like that? That really can't be good for the baby, you know. That's why I leave all the work for you to do, so it'll motivate you to move around more. Are you kidding me? Do you think this is some sort of game or something? Of course not. I'm just trying to get the mother of my niece or nephew off of her butt and moving around. Before I came here, you were probably just making my brother do all of your work for you, weren't you? You keep trying to act like I'm the selfish one, but you're the one who needs to keep relying on others for help. All I'm doing is keeping you on your feet and making sure that you don't fall out of practice when it comes to being a good housewife. Oh, you have got to be kidding me with that, right? You really think I'm going to buy any of that? If you think you're stressed, then I'm really, really stressed. And instead of dealing with the problem, you're just running away to your parents' house so that you don't have to clean the house. Well, if you're leaving, then I guess that means I'll just be taking my brother back then. I've already canceled the lease on your place, and I'll be taking my brother and moving back home with him. Wait, what? What do you mean you canceled the lease on our place? You can't be mad at me. Even Oral said that he was fine with this. He said that you weren't good enough to be his wife and that he doesn't want to be married to you anymore. He told me that he was just using you to have a kid and that's it. But now that you're about to have the kid, that means it's time to get rid of this house and for Oral and I to live together forever. And do you really expect me to believe that Oral just went along and agreed to all of this? Of course he did. I told you that my brother would do anything for me, didn't I? Well, here's just another example. You must have just had no idea that he was so stressed out living with you, huh? But he was happy to hear that you were finally going to leave us alone. I don't believe you. I don't think that Oral would ever do something like that. Well, he did, and now I'm taking this chance to take my brother back from you. You were so spoiled that you couldn't see that you were driving everyone away from you this whole time. Right. Well, good luck with that. Have a nice life, Sandra. That's what I meant to say to you, loser. You don't even have a home to go back to, and the moment that you have your kid, you are going to be getting divorce papers in the mail from Oral. So just go ahead and sign them and let him and I live in peace already, okay? We don't want you in our lives anymore. No, I'm afraid that it's you who is going to be living alone, Sandra. Or at the very least with your parents. What are you talking about? You have no idea what you're saying. I've won. I'm going to get Oral, not you. Why are you even mentioning my parents in this conversation? I guess you'll find out what I'm talking about soon enough. Good luck with everything. Hey, just what the heck is going on here, huh? Why am I getting taken here? Do you seriously expect me to live here from here on out? You mean you've already arrived? Wow, that was really fast. I guess that Oral must have gotten off work early just to get rid of you then. What are you talking about? Oral told me that he was going to take us to our new home. He said it'd be for him and I. I packed up my bags, threw them in the car, and we drove off. And now I see that he's just taken me to the lodge that our relatives run out in the boonies. He even told me I was going to be living and working here. Aw, did he say that? Well, I guess it sounds to me like you've been tricked. We tried to ask you to leave our house over and over again, but you just wouldn't listen. You have no one to blame but yourself for this. What are you talking about? I still have no idea what's really going on here. You better explain to me what is going on right now. Am I seriously supposed to work here? Oral told me that as soon as I stepped out of the car, and by the time I turned around to ask him what he meant, he had already driven off. You need to tell me what is going on right now. Okay, just calm down, Sandra. It really is quite simple. The fact is that Oral and I are both sick of having you live with us. So we came up with a plan that we were sure would trick you into leaving our home. Wait, so Oral lied to me? That's right. We tried to get you to move out over and over again, but nothing seemed to work. And because you weren't doing anything to help around the house at all, we knew that we had to do something. I was just getting so stressed out and was really starting to reach my limit with you. So Oral told me to go to my parents' house while he took care of you. But wait, I thought that Oral and I were the ones that had chased you out of the house. Oral and I were supposed to finally live together again. You really thought that was going to happen? But Oral always does what I say, and he knows that he can never say no to me. I always get my way. How could he trick me like this? It isn't fair. I hate this. Well, I'm afraid that your brother has been fed up with your antics for some time now. What do you mean? My brother loves doing things for me. That's why I always gave him a bunch to do. Well, if that were the case, then why did your brother lie to you and drive you out to that lodge then? It sounds to me like you got tricked and you just haven't faced up to reality yet. No, this can't be happening to me. My brother wouldn't do this to me. He wanted to live with me too. He's always taken care of me, and I was sure that that was what was going on now. You still just don't get it, do you? All your selfish actions over the years just drove him to hate you. Ever since he was little, you've been making him run around and do everything for you just so that you wouldn't throw a tantrum. And even when you grew up, you still just never learned to take care of yourself or be grateful to those doing things for you. You took advantage of your brother's kindness and never once thanked him for it. No, this can't be happening. I know that my brother loves me. You think you were getting your brother to love you more by constantly making him do everything for you? You think he enjoyed doing all the cooking and bug killing and room cleaning for you because you were too much of a spoiled brat to do it yourself? I never thought about it like that at all. It's clear to me that you probably never thought about anyone but yourself this entire time. You've been nothing but a burden on your whole family because you think the world owes you everything. All while you do nothing at all to pay back or show gratitude to those around you. But I just wanted to live with my older brother. This isn't fair. You both can't do this to me. I didn't do anything to deserve this. If you really feel that way, then I think working at that lodge your relatives own is going to be a good experience for you. Maybe you'll finally learn what it means to earn your own way through this world and what it's like to do things for others for once. This isn't a good thing. I don't want to learn any of that. I just wanted my brother to do everything for me. Besides, my aunt who runs this place is really strict. She'll work me to the bone. I seriously doubt that. It sounds to me like you're just scared to do a decent day's work is all. So you're really just going to leave me here? What am I supposed to do? How do I leave? I don't want to do this. If you don't want to do this, you can always just walk home, but you'll still have to figure out where you'll go after that. Neither your parents, nor Oral, or I want you living with us. But you can't do this to me, please! I didn't want things to go this way. They were supposed to go my way, like they always have. You can't do this to me! A few months later, Sandra's parents actually went up to the lodge for a vacation and to catch up with their relatives up there. Sandra was sure that they had come to take her back, and she greeted them with her packed bags. But her parents told her that they had just come to see if she had done any growing up at all in the time since she began her new job. They quickly learned that Sandra was not adjusting well and ended their stay early to go home without her. They even sold their house and moved out to the country so that not even Sandra could find them.